It's the end of an era in New England as the Patriots say farewell to Bill Belichick. Hello and welcome to Patriots All Access presented by Geico. I'm Steve Burton. 4 days after New England's least successful season in 23 years, the Patriots and Bill Belichick mutually agreed to part ways. One of the greatest coaches in NFL history will likely be on another team's sideline next season, while the Patriots will be changing coaches for the first time in the 21st century. We'll examine how it got to this point. But let's begin with a classy look back at the very amicable split between the Patriots and Bill Belichick.
All right, morning. Seen this many cameras since we signed Tebow.
This is a very emotional day for me.
Robert and I, after a series of discussions, have mutually agreed to part ways. And for me, this is a day of gratitude and celebration. So much thanks for the opportunity to be head coach here for 24 years. We had a vision of building a winner, building a championship football team here, and that's exceeded my wildest dreams and expectations.
Some of my happiest and most memorable moments were celebrated with my family during Bill's tenure here. I recognize that it also is a very emotional day for many of our fans and most of our fans, as it represents the end of an era, one that hopefully will always be celebrated in this region.
The fans here are amazing. There's so many memories of the fans, the send-offs, the parades, the Sundays, whatever the situations are. It's with just so many fond memories and thoughts that I think about the Patriots and I'll always be a Patriot.
Later that day, owner Robert Kraft took questions.
And why did you feel it was the right decision?
Well, the last 3 years have been pretty tough. Our family is the custodian of this asset, the New England Patriots, and we have a responsibility to do what we can to fix it to the best of our ability.
This graphic tells you all you need to know about Bill Belichick. Second all-time in wins. He's just 15 wins away from surpassing Don Shula as the winningest coach ever. Then first in postseason wins, division titles, conference championships, and the only coach to win 6 Super Bowl titles. Welcome back to Patriots All Access in our Bob's Discount Furniture Studios with Mike Reese and Paul Perillo. Wow. Well, I know you got the memo about the press conference.
I did.
You didn't get the memo about the tie.
I did not. You guys have your little private chats about the dress code. Leave me out. That's okay. All right.
Were you surprised the day actually happened?
It feels like we've been talking about this for weeks, Mike, but still, when you came into the building and then found out that it was happening that day, yeah, it was a little jarring. It was, off-putting. The guy's been, I was joking around for so many years during the football season. It was, what time is Bill? Has Bill gone yet? Is Bill done? It wasn't the coach's press conference. It wasn't what time is the media coming. It was Bill, because Bill has been the Patriots coach for so long and really synonymous with the brand.
And look, I think we got to this point, and I felt like the expectation was probably that they were going to be moving on by the end of the season. So in that sense, I'm not surprised.
Right.
But when something like that happens, it's surreal. It doesn't feel like is this really happening? And so not surprised, Steve, but just sort of taken by the magnitude of the decision in the moment.
I like how both sides handled it. I just want to get your thoughts on that. How do you think the press conference itself was handled?
Yeah, I would never disagree with you, Steve, because we know what happens when that happens. But I would agree, and legitimately agree. I thought that both sides were able to obviously it's a difficult time.
Right.
You don't have a relationship like that. I thought it was interesting. Robert Kraft talks about, how long the partnership, right? 24 years, that's a long time. So it could not have been an easy decision. It could not have been easy working through the logistics. But I thought in particular, both sides did really well. But I was really impressed with Bill Belichick's ability to stand up there and sort of reflect on, exceeding those expectations that they had for one another and being appreciative of everything and saying, the money line about I'll always be a Patriot, which that seems to be that's the money line for all these guys nowadays. Mike, it was nice. I thought Bill really handled it well.
Bill talked about gratitude and celebration. Those words stood out to me. I'll always be a Patriot. And I think about something that Robert Kraft has just said in life in general. Like, we have to be able to sit and talk to each other. We might agree to disagree, but we can talk and shake hands and look each other in the eye. That's what I loved about this, guys. I mean, they could have just typed out some statements, fired them off on email, but instead they allowed us into the room where we could watch their interactions with each other. We could listen to their tone, watch the way they looked in each other's eyes, and it was real, and it was
some
human.
Emotion. You heard some emotion, too.
From both sides.
Yep.
And it was genuine, absolutely genuine. Bill's future.
Yeah.
Where do you think he goes?
Yeah, I mean, I would have thought that he intended to continue coaching, long before anything that happened this week. But certainly now I'm more convinced than ever. Listening to Robert Kraft, make a couple of allusions to sort of, his career not being over. Where he goes, I think there are a lot of options. I'm intrigued by this whole Atlanta thing, Mike. I know that seems to be the one that you guys, you and Adam have been talking about a little bit. There's some pieces in place there. You go out and maybe sign a free agent quarterback. Maybe that rhymes with dozens. Maybe you can get some things done down there.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
In that division too, which is probably one he looks at and says maybe I could make some hay. So always hard to know which team he might end up with. But I would say this: he's coaching. He's not done yet.
I agree.
And neither are you guys. You're not done yet either, because we have to talk about the future of the Patriots. We'll be back with more Patriots All Access right after this.
Coming up on All Access.
Might Matthew Slater have played his last game as a New England Patriot?
You're watching Patriots All Access.
Patriots All Access is brought to you by Bank of America, the official bank of the New England Patriots, and by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com.
Welcome into the Social Media Minute. I'm Tamara Brown. Like many, when the news broke that the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick were mutually parting ways, it was shocking and initially speechless. But as the morning went on, many took to social media to weigh in on the dynasty, the unprecedented run over the last 24 years for the New England Patriots. Ranging from celebrities to former and current Patriots players, the gratitude and celebration of Bill Belichick poured in on social media. It's the end of an era here in New England, and I know that information was a lot to process from social media, but bear with me for a few more seconds. Though it hasn't been officially announced yet, the Patriots and former teammates of special teams captain Matthew Slater took time during the final game of the season to give Slater his flowers. From the pregame hoodies to all the love online, the celebration of Matthew Slater's legacy is just beginning. Thanks for tuning in all season long to the Social Media Minute. I'm Tamara Brown.
Welcome back to All Access, presented by Geico. It's been a week of goodbyes. Besides saying farewell to one of the greatest coaches of all time, the Patriots will most likely be seeing one of the greatest special teams player of all time retire. If Sunday's game against the Jets was his last, Matthew Slater leaves with no regrets.
Meant a lot. Meant a lot. I was blown away by it, so I'll never be able to put that into words.
Love you. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. I love you.
Hey, buddy.
Love you. Love you. Good luck to you.
Love you. Have fun, Trey. Make it special. Make it special.
I came here, I had no expectations. I didn't think I was gonna be here very long. Just a special teams player. I'm not the quarterback. I'm not catching balls. I'm not out there sacking the quarterback. So to be embraced by the fans and the community the way that my family and I have, it means a lot. I thank them for that. I thank them for their endless support for our team. I thank them for challenging our team, spurring us on. But to be embraced by this community and this fan base has been a great deal to myself and my family, so thank you. When I came here in 2008, 22 years old, so far from home, I never thought that I'd feel like this place was home for me, but 16 years later, it feels like home. I'm just very thankful for that, and it's something that I'll never take for granted.
One of the benefits of a 4-13 season, you get a high draft pick, and the Patriots will be picking 3rd overall, their highest draft position since Willie McGinnis in 1994. The Patriots own 3 of the top 68 selections in April's draft. Welcome back to Patriots All Access, everyone. Joining me now in our Bob's Discount Furniture Studios with Scott Zolak, Patriots radio analyst. Good to see you, my man.
Good seeing you. Not under these conditions.
No, it's strange, isn't it?
Yeah, we're moving on from the coach that I've known forever. And today's tough on me this week's been tough on me because I have outstanding relationships with both sides. The Kraft family, and obviously Bill and I go all the way back to 1996 when he was defensive back coach on a team. We went to the Super Bowl. And thank God Robert Kraft went and saw him. I think it was at the Combine that year because Parcells said, hey, go get him, because I think he was going to go to Miami, and we ended up getting Bill.
He's come as a surprise to you.
Well, I always hoped that there was a long shot, sort of that Hail Mary at the end. The problem is it's a bottom line business, and Bill knows that better than anybody. And if Bill sits there and is forced to grade, his productivity over the last 3 years, I'm sure he would give it a poor grade. Now, it's not for not trying. The guy grinds. He's got horse blinders on. It is about the team. It's about the opponent that week. And he sets the tone of work and how you work here for this organization. He has done for 24 years.
Covering all these years, on TV, on radio, what will you miss most, and what will the Patriots miss most?
The Bellustrator. I mean, how are we not going to miss the Bellustrator? No, I'm kidding. I had a lot of fun doing those with Coach.
Right.
And what are we going to miss most about him? Probably the in-game adjustments. Because there's nobody with a higher football acumen and the ability to retain things. You see all these coaches nowadays, they have cheesecake memory. You like the cheesecake because you eat anything.
Big time.
Cheesecake factory menus, and they sit there and stare at them the whole game.
Right.
No, he's got a pencil behind his ear, and he writes stuff down on a note card every once in a while.
Good stuff, my man.
All right, Steve. Hey, we'll see you again. We'll be doing a lot of draft shows.
A lot of draft shows.
All right.
Thank you very much. Scott Zolak, our guest. We'll be back more Patriots All Access right after this.
Patriots All Access is brought to you by Bank of America, the official bank of the New England Patriots.
Welcome back to Patriots All Access. Back with Mike Reese and Paul Perillo. They announced Jerod Mayo is the new coach of the New England Patriots. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's interesting, and it certainly seemed like all the signs were pointing there, Mike, and we've been talking about Jerod since he decided to stay, last year around this time. I'm excited for him. I'm excited to have a newer, younger voice in the locker room. Talking to a lot of the players, Mike, they all use the phrase players kind of coach. I think that you're starting to see some former players have success as coaches, so I'm excited about it.
It all makes sense now, right? I mean, they sent out, Patriots sent out the press release last offseason saying, Jerod Mayo negotiating an extension to stay long term.
Right.
Why did they do that? Well, these other teams were calling to interview Jerod, and they didn't want to lose him. So the idea was, now that we can piece it together, it was all calculated. It was, hey, let's keep him here and have some type of succession plan in place however long that plan might be, and we'll execute it when we think the time is right.
Well, you mentioned execution. You mentioned piecing things together. Who does Jerod surround himself with now?
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting, and some of the questions that Robert Kraft had to answer about, who's going to be in charge of the final say. It was Bill for so many years. I'd be surprised, Steve, if Jerod inherited that. I think they're going to do it probably in a different way, a more conventional way, the way more teams around the league. Who it's going to be, like, an Elliott Wolf type of guy, I don't know if he sticks around to do it. We've heard about all the former Patriots guys like Dave Ziegler and John Robinson. Adam Peters is the guy that gets. I'm going to throw a dark horse out at you because I'm from Everett. And we're synonymous with football, Steve. I don't know if you know Everett.
Yes,
we invented football. So Mike Bergonzi is a kid out of Everett who's an assistant GM at Kansas City. Scott Pioli brought him to the Chiefs, and he's done a great job. So I'm going to put a plug in for Mike.
Grew up a Patriots fan, too, so has it in his blood, right? Here's what I would say, because you're saying who's he going to have around him? The personnel piece, right? This is what we're trying to put together. For fans, like, that work right now is done, not done, but for this year's draft. So they're going to keep the people they have in place now, the Elliott Wolf, son of the legendary Ron Wolf, right? So you have Matt Groh as your director of player personnel. He's still here, right? Pat Stewart, a former executive who was here with the Panthers. So they have staff that's here, that's going to get you up to the draft. Then it's who makes the ultimate call, and I think that's a little bit of a wild card right now that I don't think we can really answer other than just putting out some of the names on the circuit, if you will.
All right, guys, thank you very much. I will say this. It's been one heck of a week.
No doubt.
That'll do it for this week's edition of Patriots All Access. From Mike Reese and Paul Perillo, I'm Steve Burton, and we want to leave you with a tribute and an honor to one of the greatest coaches of all time, Bill Belichick.
I'm tremendously excited to be here, to be a part of the New England Patriots organization. My basic philosophy in terms of winning football games is to have a strong, tough, physical team and to try to be as well prepared as we possibly can.
Corners McLean and Aeneas Williams, and they play a lot of cover too.
And the Patriots are Super Bowl champions! The Patriots are Super Bowl champions! The best team in the National Football League! And the Patriots win in overtime! We're Super Bowl champions again!
Back-to-back World Championships, 3 out of 4. Yes, it's a dynasty.
How we feel about playing for Bill Belichick?
I can't change the clock in my car. There's no clock setting.
We're on to Cincinnati. I would not say that I'm Mona Lisa Fido of the football world.
No!